Hi, this is Anna Imagination with the Healing Garden. I want to take a minute and talk today about belonging. Belonging is a really big deal. Belonging is one of the three foundational elements of who you are and what you are. There is the knowing, the belonging, and the authority. But I really want to delve deep into the belonging. And the reason why is because the belonging is pretty much what's holding us back. That's it. Our belonging is the crux of what's holding us back. When we were children, we received one very clear message that we had to choose between our identity or our belonging. We were told very loudly through physical and or verbal abuse that if you wanted a place to belong with the family, then you would have to behave a certain way. We get this in phrases like, we don't do that. If you want to be part of this family, then it was very, very conditional belonging. So I want to talk about the two types of belonging. You have conditional belonging and you have authentic belonging. Now, the problem that you have, the problem that I had, the problem that everybody has is they have to choose between identity and the belonging when it's conditional belonging. And the conditional belonging usually is friends, coworkers, family, spouses, children. This is actually conditional love. Conditional belonging is based off of conditional love. It's how you know you're not actually using love to make a decision when it's conditional. Because our belonging is based off of what we love. And if you are making conditions to belong, then you require conditional love to belong. So now you are altering what you love and your authenticity for the sake of belonging. But I want to show you a different kind of belonging. Authentic belonging is what people get when they are authentic. So you don't actually lose a place to belong. You lose the one that's conditional. A lot of people on their healing journey, mental metamorphosis journey. Let's use the right language, please. Let's try that again. People who are on their mental metamorphosis journey almost always lose their belonging because their belonging was conditional, based off of conditional love and conditional behaviors. So, the process of mental metamorphosis is when you change who you were, conditional based, into authentic based. When you switch over to authentic based, anyone who's hanging on to you with conditions doesn't have a leg to stand on. So they go away. What you are doing is shifting your entire lifestyle from a conditional lifestyle over to an authentic lifestyle. You are shifting your conditional belonging over to your authentic belonging. And in order to do that, you are shifting your conditional identity over to an authentic identity. So that's really the question we all need to be asking ourselves. Is my identity conditional or is it authentic? Is my belonging conditional or is it authentic? To determine if you have a conditional lifestyle, do you have the freedom to change? Or are there going to be consequences to change? Now, most of us have consequences to change because our entire belonging was built off of conditions. We instinctively know that we're going to get abandonment, rejection, and disapproval if we do not do ABC. And that's really it. The conditional belonging is contingent on rejection, abandonment, And, oh, what did I just say? Rejection, abandonment. Damn it, I'll have to go back and look at the video. So when you have your conditional belonging and you start to associate it with those three losses, you start to adjust your own behavior conditionally to accommodate the belonging. This is very, very much steeped in Ice Age thinking, because at that time period, if we did not have a large community, we would die. But that's not the case anymore. Today, in the 2023, we are in a position where we can be isolated and we can still be safe. There is no longer the concept of safety in numbers, not anymore. That does not exist anymore. There is strength in numbers, but not safety in numbers. And that's where we basically need to retire the old statement and accept the new one, that it's no longer a condition of us having the belonging or the authority, us trying to figure out where it is we fit in. It is now a matter of what's true to ourselves. There is no more safety in numbers. It's strength in numbers. The kind of strength that, yeah, I can go pay money over here and get X and then I'll be fine. I don't need a person. I can still be isolated. And that's really what our old way of thinking is we are assuming that there's safety in a lot of people, safety in community, when in fact it's quite the opposite. So we end up clinging to a conditional belonging that no longer serves us, that actually causes significant harm. And then when we get to a point in our life where the environment, the belonging no longer serves us, we're afraid of rejection, we're afraid of abandonment. So we continue to cling on to it to avoid the rejection and the abandonment, thinking that that is all we've got, and it's not. It is not. We can get an authentic belonging. In fact, you will gain authentic belonging once you cross over and you completely strip down. The identity is the core that magnetizes everything to it. And this is what a lot of people run into when you are starting a business and you walk into your business. If you are bringing your conditional self, your business is going to be conditional. Conditional businesses do not thrive. Conditional businesses do not last. Conditional businesses do not grow. You cannot build a conditional business. So if you walk into a conditional business, if you walk into a business with intent to grow it, build it, flourish it, but you are built with a conditional identity, it's not going to work. Before you can even touch your business, you're going to need to gain your authentic belonging. Gain your authentic identity, and then build up your authentic belonging on top of that. Then you can build an authentic business. And that's the problem. You cannot create a conditional business. They do not exist. And when people try and build a conditional business, well, they're trying to build a business. The thing is, the business must be reflective of you or it doesn't work. It does not work. There is nothing that diagnoses a person's authenticity more than a business. A person's business 100% diagnoses your authentic identity. And if you have a low authentic identity, the business is going to go nowhere. The more authentic you are, the more your authentic belonging, the more the business will flourish. So you've got to be fucking solid in knowing who you are and what you are and where you belong in order to build a business off of that so it can flourish. It's absolutely extraordinary to watch when you finally figure all that right and you click it all into place. And there's two parts to your identity. This is something I absolutely love. There's two parts to your identity. There's the part you know about and the part you don't know about. The realized and the unrealized parts of your identity. My realized parts are the author part, the BDSM mistress part, and the psychology part. But my unrealized parts is my actress, was the philosopher, was the teacher. I have more, and I'm still locating all of my unrealized parts. And when I started the business, I thought I would just be a psychologist. And then I realized, no, I got to be a psychologist and a philosopher. And then I realized, no, I got to be a psychologist, a philosopher, and an author. No, I need to be a psychologist, a philosopher, an actress, an author, and a BDSM mistress. I have to be all of those things because they are all me. So they all have to come in. I'm also an event producer. I am an executive producer. And I'm going, why the hell isn't that part of it? I need to throw that in there as well. I produce events for a living. I love producing events. Oh my God, do I? But I'm also a networker. I love networking. I'm also an activist and a philanthropist. So the more I expand my business, the more I realize this is all the parts of me. And I have this company just branching off each and every one of who I am. And that's why it's expanding. It's because the more I accept and adopt my authentic core, the bigger the company gets. And it's the small businesses that stay small businesses because you're staying small with your identity. It's when a person shrinks, and that is going to shrink the business. It's going to struggle or it's going to be stagnant if you don't open up and allow your authenticity to nourish it. Your authenticity nourishes your business, nourishes your company. It nourishes everything you are because it's the core. But how defined is your core? And if it's a conditional core, and then that's just it. Is it an authentic core or is it a conditional core? And when we define who we are authentically, what we are really doing is we are changing what we love for conditions. I love cats. Oh, this person doesn't like cats. I'm not going to love cats to accommodate this person. We do this. We define what we love based on where we want to belong. So you've got to choose where you want to belong. Before you can do any healing, you've got to figure this out. Before you can do any mind metamorphosis, you've got to figure this out. Are you going to value and nurture a conditional belonging, or are you going to nurture and restore, define your authentic belonging? Once you decide which one of those two things you prioritize, now you can make the choice of either staying where you are or switching over to your authentic self. But you can't do it with just meditation or just talk therapy. You can't, because you're talking about a mental metamorphosis. This isn't healing. This is absolutely stripping down you to your naked self, looking yourself in the eye with absolute honesty and rebuilding. It is not for the faint of heart, because you are going to be left alone. You are literally living through Lord of the Flies. That's all it is. Mind metamorphosis is living through your own version of Heart of Darkness and Lord of the Flies coming together. That's what it is. That is absolutely what it is. That's it in a nutshell. So, if you want more shit like this, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my newsletter. Text me change now, 929-615-4244, and we'll go ahead and get you enrolled in one of my programs. We'll see how the garden can best help you with your mental metamorphosis. Thank you so much, and may the kindest of words always find you.